I'm out at the garden again this morning, and it's always such a wonderful time to meditate and be with your internal thoughts. And I was thinking about my mother, of course, because technically I am my mother. I have strong genetics passed on from her, and as I am aging, the resemblance is already noticeable now, but as I am aging more, I am going to be looking more and more like my mother at her age. It's an interesting thing. DNA is an interesting thing. Um, and in a way, we can apply this also to God when I say, I am God. I am God in the same sense as I now can say, I am my mother. I have so much of her mannerism, so much of her intuitiveness, so much of her wisdom, so much of her genius. All of that is passed on to me, and it's making me almost a carbon copy of my mother genetically. In looks, in mannerism, in personality, except for the refinement that's a little bit different with being conscious of ego, and my mother was not so conscious of her ego, so I can tweak that a little bit and have a little bit of different personality that way. But genetically, I am my mother. And since we can't compare God to biology, but genetically, I am God. Genetically, you are God. You have all the patterns, all the blueprints of your parent in you that makes you look and appear and act like your parent. And we just can't separate ourselves from God, just as we can't separate ourselves from our biological parents. Yes, we can do that mentally by blocking them out, by disowning that parentage and that heritage. But genetically and biologically, we cannot separate ourselves from our parents. And in that sense, we cannot separate ourselves from God. Our mind will try and convince us that we are not our parents, that we're not at all like our parents, and we have nothing in common with our parents, but that's just our mind lying to us. In the same way, the mind has lied to us about being nothing like God and not being of God or being God. It's become aware of the mental lies, because they are the lies. The mental ego mind will lie to us because it's just doing the function of protecting and preserving yourself, and it has to do so by dissociating a lot from what is true. So, I am my mother, and I am also God. Wrap your mind around that. And the more mature we become, the more we will resemble the image of our parent. You'll see.